Greetings and welcome fellow VR enthusiasts, and welcome to my lair. Sorry about the mess. I'm just currently trying a new sort of style of recording at the moment. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, today I want to talk about the 24-hour VR challenge. So that's coming up on today's update. Hi, I'm the get my arms right. So hi, I'm the one down here, not the guy over there. I'm over here. Sorry. Yes, this is a sort of like a new style of editing that of style of recording that I'm trying to do, in hopes to attempt to try and see if I can cut down on my video editing whilst I'm doing this. And that way that I might be able to get a few more videos out in quicker succession rather than being absent for weeks on end and only relying on schedules that are about to run out any time soon. But yeah, so hopefully this new style of recording actually works. But if it doesn't, I can always go back to the old one. So let me know how you think. The way that we've got it up here is that, as you can see, I basically got YouTube like playing off here in the background, which I can like change and rotate it around. I mean, it's not as precise controls as I had in the previous video editing, but hey ho. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about was I just finished completing my 24-hour VR challenge, and boy was it a bit of a challenge. Now, the way that I had this VR challenge going is that basically I had 24 games that I want to do in 24 hours. And at which time I tried to... It didn't quite work out to exactly 1 hour per game. Pardon me, to 1 hour per game. But I got it so that I tried to progress through these as much as possible or get to a certain point before carrying on to the next game. I mean, for example, the next game that we had around here, which was Farpoint, which I did play a little bit longer than normal, simply because I kind of wanted to get up to the point, if I can even find it. I think it's a little bit further along, is it? Oh yeah. I basically wanted to get up to like this point here where I face a giant spider monster. And try to defeat it before carrying on. Unfortunately, it took me like about 1.5 hours to get through, so the next game that I played was a little bit less. However, okay, so how did I go throughout this? I had games on the PlayStation VR. I had games on the PC VR. So I was basically playing from the Quest and also from the VR headset, as you can see going down here. The thing is, as I was trying to swap and change between PC and PS VR without interrupting the stream, this was as much a technical achievement as well as an endurance achievement for me, because now I managed to get this thing set up to actually be able to switch on the fly as and when needed. Hopefully, just to prove the point, let's see if I think I've got the PlayStation that's on at the moment. I don't know if it's on. This would work or not. Yeah, and you should now be seeing and hearing my PlayStation. Let's just minimise that so I can actually see what's going on. Yeah, so basically I've got the PlayStation going on in the background here, and I just reach down here and just bring that back up. And yeah, we got that back into... Yeah, so we got that back into... yeah, I'm so glad I had that. And then we can pop that back into, say, full screen. So yeah, it's a nice little technical setup that I've got here. I also had like an entire charging deck, entire charging deck station behind me, which I was working on for about a week trying to get right. So basically, I've got like a nice tower of USB ports that allows me to charge all things via USB cables, plus docking stations for the Move controllers, and also another docking station that I got for the dual shock controllers as well, all nicely there, and that worked quite neatly. So the games that I was playing, just to let you know, I've got a little bit of a list down here somewhere. Where's the list? So I just bring that up here. So when I did the actual streaming, I did the streaming in 6 parts. Part 1, 2, 3, and... Sorry, 6 parts? 4 parts, I mean. Each part was about 6 hours long. Now, the reason I had to split it up is because YouTube doesn't like excessively long streams. I think it cancels out around about 12 hours. If you try to go over a certain amount of time, it has a lot of problems with that. And I'll just change that to something a little bit more pleasing. If you try to go over 12 hours, it has a lot of problems and starts glitching out. So instead of getting anywhere close to the glitching out series, I try to make sure it's at 6 hours per stream. And that I did about 6 games. Made sure I did 6 games within each part. Now, as you can see here, the first one I did was Half-Life Alyx. Really thoroughly enjoyed. Fract on the PSVR was only a demo, but I absolutely loved that game. That was a cool game. I certainly really enjoyed that, and was grateful that was recommended to me on the chat. Farpoint, another oldie but goldie. That was where we had all the nice big spiders. Boneworks is kind of what you're seeing here. I didn't really do much of the storyline because I didn't really want to do the storyline. I kind of wanted to play through some of the non-storyline sandboxes, and there was quite a fair few things that would go to, including the cup game done with guns, which was a bit of a... I think that was a sort of meme where you got like loads of Among Us characters playing and then shooting the guns. I think I've got even like tried that here. Whereabouts was that? But hey, yeah, I was just basically running around shooting lots of people up. And but yeah, that was all the sort of fun stuff that I was having in Boneworks. What else did we have there? So base Bonework and Space Engine. So what did we have for Space Engine? Which is basically just chilling out to a starscape, flying through the universe, taking off from one planet, going to another planet, or going to another star, or going to the galaxy, or going to the edge of the universe, and basically just flying through the universe. So each one of these dots that you see on the screen at the moment is either an actual star or a galaxy, depending what level you are. I think this is the galaxy level. So each galaxy is filled with stars, and each star's got like planets, and you can like go from like crawling on the planet up to like the star level, and yeah, it is quite impressive what this level of detail goes through. I did actually have some downloads for like Jupiter and Earth and more detailed textures, but I couldn't actually use them without. I don't think I can use them without actually buying the Pro, and this was, I think, the free. can't remember if this was free or the cheap version. I'm sure I paid for this, but it wasn't the pro version. Okay, so moving on. So that was basically part 1, Half-Life Alyx, Fract, Farpoint, Boneworks and Space Engine. Now part 2 kind of got broken up into 2 parts because whilst I was halfway playing through Pulsar, there was a bit of a glitch and I seemed to have stopped streaming. But I didn't want to end part 2 right there, considering I'd only just started it. So I did like part 2 take 2. So at the beginning of part 2 take 2, I did actually start off with with Pulsar. You see from the first one and moving on to the second. However, there was quite a few games. Let's have a little look at the games we did in part 1. So let's go back up if I can get rid of that. Let's go back out and see so part 1. So part 2, take 1. Now this game I actually played VR chat to start off with on this part. The thing is, VR chat is actually it's impressing me, to be honest. It didn't used to when I first started it on the Quest a couple of years back, but that was on the Quest. Now I'm on the PC. We do seem to have quite a few decent things going on for it, such as like this Among Us game here, and I'm kind of enjoying playing an Among Us in VR chat. So it's all totally free and people playing around in this. And what you do is, if you played Among Us, you know the rules, and this is like Among Us in virtual reality. I've seen other games that do this, but like I said, this one was done in VR chat. So that was. See if I could try and find us wandering around. Say this is us like wandering around. That guy's about to kill me, I think. Oh yeah, so I've got to quickly do navigations. With navigation. So yeah, all the tasks are physical. You have to make sure you do the task properly. So yeah, at one point in the future, I might have to go ahead and just do a proper. Well, I was going to say a proper Among Us stream, but I want to do a full-blown exploration of VR chat because there is a heck of a lot going on there, especially for the PC variation. But I did like 2 things. Not only did I just play Among Us, I went on to the scare zone. If I can find where the scare zone is. Yeah, basically the scare zone had quite a few different levels that you could play through. Such as like this creasy halls of silence where you got weird sounds going on. Let's see if I can get some sound effects going on. Strength, huh?
Please, love me. Don't leave me.
Yep. Yeah. So that was like one of the levels of the scare zone. There was quite a few different levels that we played through, including one of my favourite ones, which was the Five Nights at Freddy's section. So basically, let's rewind it a little bit so you can actually see it. You start off in like the control room. You can like flick around with the cameras and so on. Pick up stuff, throw them, or if you want, you can actually just go out the door and just have a little wander around. Yeah, and all the buttons worked and the doors worked. That was quite cool. And then you can just, like I said, walk out the doors and just have a little wander around the areas. But let's see. Sorry, just stepping forward. I did actually play this with a group of people the other day, and they were like screaming. They were pretty much quite screaming as I was like walking through this. I think in the Fright Zone, the the Five Nights at Freddy's event was actually one of the better events that they did in there. But you do see that they did quite a few other things as well, such as like the Hall of Limbs. Yeah. There's all good fun stuff. Yeah, after I finished playing around with VR chat. Oh, for fuck's sake. And back. Okay, sorry about that. I kind of just had a phone call that I just needed to deal with. But yeah. Where was I? Oh yes. After dealing with VR chat, we then went on to do Pulsar, the Lost Colony. Now this is a new game that I just kind of got, and this game is actually quite surprisingly good. I am really enjoying this. I have described this game as if Star Citizen and Bridge Crew had an autistic child, it will be called Pulsar: The Lost Colony. I mean, this one is quite good, where it does require you to have a crew. But if you don't have a crew, you can use bots to replace as replacements for the. Sorry. Pardon me, you can have bots to replace the crew. So you pick, at this beginning here, you pick the ship and you give it a name, and say, I call this Wrecking Ball. And then you get pointed to, then you take your role, because you've got several roles that you need to play in here, say captain, pilot, engineer, science officer, and so on. And therefore you just roam around your ship. Each person has to take their own role. Like I said, I'm the captain here. You've got like another person that takes a role of weapons, another person that takes a role of engineer, another person takes a role of pilot, and so on and so forth. So everyone has to get to their stations and operate the ship according to what needs to do. And here, yeah. Unfortunately, like I said, round about here I kind of had a little bit of a glitch in the actual game, and therefore it got disconnected. So once it got disconnected, actually, let's see if I can just go straight forward to the end. So I should have got it in. So yeah, so the next one here. Let's just bring that back to the beginning. Let's just find something decent there. Yeah. So basically, once you've gotten your crew, you get missions that come in through the main comms, and you have to go through and do missions by going down to planetary surfaces, do away missions, or intergalactic or space battles. So if you're like fighting another spaceship, or you've got like your gunners that have to shoot at the spaceships, your science officer is constantly trying to infect the other people with viruses, whilst combating the viruses they send against you. And then when you go down to like planet surfaces, you have to go around these places and take out the bad guys. They're like all blown firefights going on here. As I said, this is really quite a good game here. I mean, it might be low graphics, might not be great in the graphics department, but I really do enjoy the gameplay on here. This is one of those games that the gameplay certainly far outseeds the graphics, and it certainly shows with all the stuff that you can do in this game. But moving on, what did we have next? So after we played Pulsar, and then I switched over to the next section, I played Tetris VR. Now, I never really was a fan for Tetris, but I mean, I got this because it certainly does have a good old sort of good gameplay that's going for it. It's all nice and relaxing. You get into like the vibe of the music. You see all the effects that are going around you. It's really quite an awesome game here, and I think that I'm not alone with that. That a lot of other people actually enjoy Tetris as well, because this is just one of those games that you have a lot of fun playing. Can't figure out what's going on there. Fun again then. Yeah, after Tetris, why do I keep on loading that? So after Tetris, we then had Five Nights at Freddy's. I'll just quickly show you a bit of Five Nights at Freddy's, the actual proper game. I didn't really play through this too much. I just played some of the ones that I like as you can see here, Vent Repair. What else did we? Oh yeah, I think that's where I got jump scared and did the suit repair. But yeah, we went through a lot of games with Five Nights at Freddy's, and after Five Nights at Freddy's, we played 1942, which was kind of an interesting retake on the old arcade classics, 1976, 1942. I can't remember. But yeah, there used to be an old arcade game called 1942, which was basically a top-down shooter. You use guns to... hold on a second, let me just rewind. Yeah, so basically you just see like this, like sort of shooting a bullet storm that you have to like dodge all the bullets and shoot all the bad guys, etc., etc., etc. And then you get like these VR immersive moments where you go inside the cockpit and you're flying around like that. You just have to kill all the bad guys and shoot them. This is one of those games that you have to go in for the grind, because you pick up coins, and with those coins you can get upgrades. Now, the very first level, I seem to be getting a lot more coins than I will get in the later levels, simply because the later levels are really quite hard, so therefore you don't get as many coin pickups. So a good idea is to basically grind like the first couple of levels to get as many coins as possible, get the coin multiplier, and trying to boost up your the amount of coins that you've got in your pocket. And then once you've gotten a lot of coins, then you upgrade your weapons, you upgrade your missiles, you upgrade your armor, your repairs, side missiles, side weapons, support aircraft, etc. Until that you are more capable of going against the more later levels. So yeah, you can in this game repeat the lower levels just so you can boost yourself up or power yourself up so you can play the higher levels later. Okay, I think that was mostly it. What else did we have after 1942? Oh yeah, and to finish it off, we had one of my old-time favourite airplane games, which was Ace Combat. I love this game. This game is absolutely freaking awesome. I'm not so sure quite why the graphics are a little bit blurred out like that. Probably maybe my setup, the way that I was using this. But yeah, I absolutely loved Ace Combat, especially this takeoff on the aircraft carrier. And you like move up and you see everyone around you running around you like that, and you move into position and you got like the sounds. And then you're up in the air, and this is absolutely... When I first played this for the first time, it was absolutely awesome. I loved this so much. But yeah, definitely the Ace Combat 7 VR, I just wish they did more for this game. Unfortunately, the main majority of the game is a flat screen campaign mode. But yeah, okay, so that was part 2. Let's see, what did we have for part 2? Okay, so you see VR Chat, Pulsar, Tetris, Five Nights at Freddy's, 1942, and Ace Combat 7. Following that, part 3. So let's move on to part 3. That's part 4 of 4. Click it. Okay, click it. Okay, part 3 kind of started off a little bit bad because we was trying two educational programs. One was this Museum of Other Realities, and the second one was International Space Station. Mostly due to the lack of blowing stuff up, I kind of got bored with these relatively quickly. So I kind of put these two as one on my list, as you can see here. Museum of Other Realities and International Space Station. They both kind of went into the first line. Let me just move that on to a little bit more interesting. So as I said, yeah, you just see them. It was just. I felt myself, if I'd continued playing on with this, I probably would have fallen asleep. So yeah, that was like Museum of Other Realities. And this International Space Station, which was giving you a little bit of a guided tour around the ISS. Again, although I am interested in the ISS, I am very much interested in space technology, but the thing is, I've already played this on, I think it was on the PSVR, and I had this on the and I had this on the PC Quest, and the PSVR was so much better because you could actually maneuver through the ISS, and you interacted with stuff. I didn't see any of that on this PC variant of this program, so I kind of got really bored with this quite quickly. So moving on after that, we have, I do believe this is, what was it, A-Tech Cybernetics on the PC. This actually was kind of an interesting game because I only played the Swarm variation earlier, which I think reminded me of another game that I played, but I didn't like this. I really didn't get on well with the Swarm variation. However, the storyline mode does actually seem a little bit more interesting. I was playing. Oh, sorry, did I just? Oh, bollocks. Oh well. Let's just get that back up. I think I accidentally missed it. Don't you hate it when you do that? Okay. Yeah, so A-Tech Cybernetic, it's got an interesting storyline where basically you're on this land, on this sort of space station, and all the people have been taken over by cybernetics and they're out to try and kill you. This one is basically all you really need is something to shoot and something to shoot that something with. So loads of waves of enemies that try to kill you, and you've got a gun and you've got to shoot them. Basically, that's all the storyline you really need to know. And yeah, this happens quite a lot. So I'm like running around like dark hallways. Kind of remind me of Doom a little bit. But the oh, that's going to it too far. So you've got your like shotguns. Not seen many bodies. I'm trying to see if I can find like a little bit of fighting, which okay. But hey, yeah, there is. Trust me, there is a lot of fighting going on in here, even though I can't actually show you any of it right now. Go on, show me some blood. Oh, there we go. There we go. Here's some fighting. Yeah. So just get like a crowbar, wave it around, knock them around. Oh, basically this is like in slow motion. Yeah, he activated the slow motion. I could basically whip everyone quite quickly and easily. And then they come back up. Boink. Boink. Okay, so after this game, I think that we started going... Oh yeah, I kind of tried... I think I attempted to do... Yeah, I attempted to play... What is it called? Sword and Sorcery, I think that was the name of the game. Sword and Sorcery. On the... let me see, what is it? Blade and Sorcery. I tried to play Blade and Sorcery on the PC. But unfortunately my Quest headset kind of broke. So, ran out of power. So I decided to then change it over and started playing Trover Saves the Universe. Which is also quite a foul language program. A lot of people swear, everyone and blinding and swearing all over the place. But we like that sort of stuff now and again. So after a while we've started playing Trover Saves the Universe. It's an okay title. Not the best title that I've ever played. I'm not really much of a platformer, but it's still kind of enjoyable as you play it. However, I do think the mainstream appeal to this game was that it was made by the same people that created Rick and Morty. And you can certainly tell that because of the characters sounds like Rick and Morty. He's using the same voices, although the same person plays both Rick and Morty. You can actually hear the voices in them. So. Let's get some voice. Who's not going to swear too much?
Got me killed!
Who, me? My bad. Clean.
You can see better.
Oh, hey, how you guys doing? Then
Not
get
that.
houses are allowed to be. And
You get me?
Oh.
You see the... Oh shit! You got enough green power babies to give me a new hit point, a new health point. Oh my god! Now I can take more damage. Oh, see, that's what happens when you collect these green power babies. All right, okay, we're really rocking and rolling.
Okay, and as I said, after playing this game, I decided to play. Well, why not play Rick and Morty? Of course, once you play Trover Saves the Universe, you've got to actually play Rick and Morty.
To do.
Oh god. So I spent oh boy, sorry, it's getting a bit hot at the moment. I'm just trying to see if I can get through all these. I'm getting exhausted just trying to go through the list of things that I played. Yeah, and just imagine how exhausted I was while actually playing them. But yeah, let's just go straight onto the list. Okay, so Trover Saves the Universe, Rick and Morty, then Battlezone and Blood and Truth that I did for part 3. So Rick and Morty, Total Rickality, I believe is the name. Battlezone, I did try starting off as a solo player game, but going through it, I think I actually intruded onto someone else's game in the end, just because it's so much easier playing with another person. And after a Battlezone, we had a little look at another one of my favourites, Blood and Truth. And with this, finally, I think I managed to did I get the aim controller out? I got the aim controller out, threw it away, and ended up using the move controllers instead. Because it didn't work with the aim controller. Damn it. Every time I keep on getting out Blood and Truth, I keep thinking this is a game for the aim controller, but it's not. There are modes in Blood and Truth that you can use the aim controller, but majority it is you need to use the move controllers for that. And finally, yeah, And I kind of finished this one off, this part off, with a nice big bang. A little bit of a disco going down. And exploding the casino up. Which I always think is quite cool, especially when you're doing it in VR. Just nonchalantly chilling out. Yeah. Boom. And that ends the and that ends part 3. Let's see. Let's move on to part 4. Come on, let's get those lists up. Part 4, here we go. Okay, so as you can see, this was the final lineup, the final 4 games, final 6 games that I did. So we did Doom 3 Remake, Wizard Enhanced Edition, Magestown, Blade and Sorcery, because I managed to get the Quest headset game running, Carrier Command 2, that was a bit of a flop. Spaz 2, I was a bit of a flop at that point because I kind of started falling asleep, and Zero Caliber to finish it off. Now firstly, Doom 3 is, this remake is an awesome remake. They did this game perfectly. I love this game. And it really, I mean, I can't remember when Doom 3 originally came out. It came out long time ago. But when they remade this, they remodeled some of the assets, they revamped it, total new graphics. It really does it well, really does it justice for VR. And I certainly do recommend Doom 3 in VR if you want to play that sort of thing. And next up, we started our little wizards here. So start up with wizards. Let's go around there. I actually did a review on this game and how much I really quite enjoyed this game here. Got a bit of a story, and I like the way that you learn the spells and move your hands in tune with the spells. They're quite intuitive. So going like that, it's like point of getting your hands ready to throw a fireball, and then you throw it. The magic missiles was cool. Although I kind of got a little bit stuck on that part because I kept on trying to kill the chain, but I realised I was hitting the wrong bit of the chain. Then see, as you can see up there, it was glowing where I actually needed to hit it. Followed this was Magestown, which was pretty similar, but you had this annoying little goblin that condescends you, work for every step of the way. The good part of this is you could actually make your own spells by mixing and matching certain ingredients that you pick up, such as like lightning, then seeker, colour, so on and forth. And you can make up some good spell combinations, which I thought was quite good. And then you test out what you use on your little arena, and then you go back in and carry on with the story mode. So yeah, I actually quite like this. I mean, this entire experience was done with quite a lot of games that I really quite enjoyed, including this last one, which is, well, this isn't the last one, but this is Blade and Sorcery. Now this game isn't properly done yet. You've only just got these battle arenas where you can basically just skewer someone right up the arse whilst holding them upside down. Alright, boink. Missed them. Bonk, send them flying. And skewer. Run right at them and skewer. But yeah, so this also this is actually quite good because it allows you to play around with your opponents and do all sorts of weird fun stuff, like pick them up, throw them onto like the bed of spikes, or throw them over the edge, or pull them right into a blaze, or set them on fire. Do loads of stuff. It's quite cool. Yeah. So after this, I think I was getting really sleepy. And was losing the will to live. But this game here, Carrier Command, I gave this game a try, but unfortunately the the tutorial isn't really that good with this, because I got up to a point where I just couldn't get further. I follow all the lists. I mean, this is good that you take command of a carrier, and you can like press all the buttons, and all the buttons sometimes do stuff like activate the missile bay, or arm the missile bay ready to fire. Grab the steering wheel to drive it, or increase them. So all these buttons around here on the ship actually do something, and you have to press them to actually make them work. But the thing is, I got to a part where I just couldn't actually work. It says here that I need to actually just turn on manual aiming. And I thought, okay, so how do you turn on manual aiming? None of the controls on my on my joystick, on my Quest sticks actually told me. So I started banging random keys on the keyboard, and that didn't do anything either. I was at a loss, so at one point I thought, sod it, just carry on to the next game. And the next game being Spaz. And as you can see at this point here, I kind of fell asleep for about... this is the problems with stories. I find stories like so boring that I just wanted something to blow up. So I just waiting for like the story to go. I couldn't close it, so whilst waiting for the story to progress, I started like nodding off, as you can see here. But yeah, thankfully I did wake up, and I was in a fair amount of a daze when I was at this point here, so sleep deprived, and yeah, I started finding myself in like the middle of a battle, and I just started blow stuff up. I'm getting hit, I'm getting hammered. Blow them up, then blow them up, and then blow them up. Oh great, I won, yay. Can I go back to sleep now? Spaz 2, so it's the original Space Pirates and Zombies. That's what Spaz stands for. Space Pirates and Zombies is a decent enough game in itself, but I just really don't like the way they dismiss life so quite frequently. And I mean, even in this intro that you're seeing at the beginning here, they say, "Oh, do you know that you shut down life support on the lower deck and killed thousands of our Stark crew members just so you can play a stupid game?" And the scientist was like, "Oh, they gave their lives in a worthy cause, so I may get the high score on this control tower." I thought, yeah, right, okay. And human lives is so inconsequential, it is considered a part of a currency. That's the only thing I didn't like about this game, is that human lives is very much an expenditure. So you can get rid of them quite willy-nilly, but that's the style that the game was playing. However, the actual storyline in itself is quite decent. And then we finished off with Zero Caliber. I said at this point here I was so groggy I had to put it on easy mode just so that I make sure that I stay alive for a little bit and not kill right out of the door. But yeah, this game Zero Caliber, it is quite a cool game, little military game here. That you start by picking up weapons, you equip your weapons with all your like sights and right attachments, and then you go off on this sort of like Bad Company style missions. So you go round go round from site to site, say, okay, the enemy has taken over this territory. You need to go in and shoot up all the enemies. So you do that with your squad. Your squad goes in, actively starts killing them off. So you can see, like here, you've got your squad members on here. Nice helicopter coming in, try and take out, but get taken down by a rocket launcher. Yeah, which is, of course, scripted. The helicopter was scripted, but the other players in here aren't. Unfortunately, it was around about this time, just 15 minutes before I completed the full 24 hours, that BT decided to cancel, well, not cancel, but decided to disconnect my internet for maintenance or whatever. I don't know why, but they've been disconnecting it quite frequently since. I find that quite annoying. I was just 15 minutes away. I could have waited for it to be reconnected, but I was just too tired at that time and just went straight to bed. Yeah, so that was a bit of a pain. So that was the VR 24-hour challenge. 24 games done within 24 hours. I think it might have even been a little bit more. So I tried to keep 6 games to each section. I might have done a little bit more in some areas, but hey ho. So yeah, cool. Now I will actually be trying to see if I can get back up and do more videos like this. Tell me if you prefer this sort of style of video editing, or this style of playback, or if you prefer to do it if I go back to the previous way that I was doing it last time, which was just me in front of a screen and then video editing everything in at a later point in time. I'm still going to need to do that with this video, but I don't think it will be as much as it was before, as I got everything all in the click of these buttons. So I hope you've enjoyed watching that as much as I've done in creating this. Actually, let's see if this works out. If I go over to this, sorry, I'm still trying to work out the kinks here. So if I go to okay, so yeah. So that has been my VR 24-hour challenge, 24 games in 24 hours. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've done in creating this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave comments and your thoughts and so on. Thanks very much, and I'll see you guys out there.